Shalom, shalom. Kal halalim labano Yahweh Alahai Noah Bahasham Yahavshai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Shalom. Double honors to the apostles, bishops of Great Millstone, and shalom to the prophets of the same body. I was watching Roscoe Jenkins, one of my favorite movies. I've seen it a couple of times. It's still got that sort of classic feel, like that most Jake movies have, like Friday and Friday After Next, etc., etc. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, for example, the 80s classic. Roscoe Jenkins was, I believe, made in 2008. That being said, they always put things in movies where they try and make wickedness good and good wickedness. For example, where you see Sammy Davis Jr. when he was a young child, where one of the scriptures say that, we've become their song and their byword, we've become an astonishment. You got Sammy Davis Jr. tap dancing with a pork chop in his hand. Okay? See, these Edomites, these Caucasians, these Amalekites, these small hatters, the JOOSs, know who you are. The Edomites, the so-called white man outside of America, know who, is who the real Israelites are. They know that in America, there's Jake scattered everywhere, but they know that ground zero America, that the Israelites are the so-called black, Hispanic, and native Indian. All right? But they go hard against the so-called black man. All right? Like a house of cards, what they want to do is, or like any kind of building, what they want to do is they want to destroy the foundation. Now, if the foundation is destroyed, the rest of the building will topple over. Or if the foundation is weak, the rest of the building will collapse. Hence the reason why they go so hard against the tribe of Judah. Okay? I mean, this Jake here, was playing an angel in the Green Mile. They show you who the Israelites are. Okay? All this talent and salt. Okay? All the inventions. All right? All the athletic feats. Right? All the superhuman type abilities. They show that. All the comedic timing. Mike Epps is a clown, but he's funny. All right? To me, he's funny. Okay? He regurgitates the same material sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. He's still funny to me. He's got that natural ability. All right? Now, in the movie, if you watch Roscoe Jenkins, he comes to a family get-together, right? He's meant to be on some kind of diet or whatever. There's nothing wrong with eating meat. That's lawful. Chicken, lamb, beef, tuna, etc., 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 right? But they're having a go at him for not eating pork, man. Eating swine. All right? I'm just going to play it from here. Check it out yourself. They make it seem abnormal because slave food was the pig that Edomites gave you, and they knew what they were doing. All right? They want to destroy you Israelites so bad. So Esau can be the ruler of the planet. Destroy the Israelites, let them keep committing sin after sin after sin after sin. And then they assume that Yahweh Shem Yahshai is going to give the rulership to the Edomites. Well, you've had your time, Esau. You're not going to get that. All right? Like the scriptures say, the Lord says the scriptures say that the Lord's mercy endureth forever. Okay? The Lord is merciful. The Lord's going to punish you like a father does. All right? If you hit your child, you get a ruler, whack him in the back of the legs, or even clip him around the ear roll. Right? You're not going to keep hurting your child. I mean, I've done that to my own son when he's a younger boy, but it hurts me doing that. But I had to do it, Then after a little while, a few hours or so, you let him sort of like deal with it. And then obviously, when your son is 7, 8 years old, you hug him afterwards. Maybe give him a kiss on the forehead to let you know, just to comfort him because that's your son. That's the same way the Lord deals with us. Hence the reason we go through what we go through. But Esau puts it in a comedic fashion, to make it seem as if pork is something normal to consume. It's not. It is not. All right? Hence the reason why some of you Israelites that do eat pork, you look like a damn pig. You got all these growths and warts coming out of your face. You're fat as F, you know? Got this pus coming out of your, where the coals of your eyes are. Your nose is always running. You eat other abominations as well where you look like them mammals and animals that you're not supposed to eat, like catfish and all that, lobster, crab. And if you look at some of these YouTube videos as well where they show Israelites, okay, all right, namely the so-called black woman, right? Even some of the black men, I've seen one where there's two Generation Z Jakes, right, eating. I think they ordered some frozen mice that are designed to feed certain animals. Are they? I don't know, frozen mice or something. And these I wouldn't even call them Jakes. These so-called Gen Z black young men, they're definitely black in soul, right? Were eating them whole just to get views, you know. And they were eating mice. Then they show one with a so-called black woman eating a damn dog, which you're not supposed to eat. It's disgusting, man. And then you see so-called black women, or Israelite women, even Latin women also, Northern Kingdom, eating like a whole plate, dipping lobster in the butter and the sauces and all that, and slurping it down, like she's drinking a thick milkshake. And those channels get all the shine and the subscribers and all the kickbacks and the views. Esau loves that, man. When you're going off, and they've not messed with the views. But when I've clicked on loads of channels, man, of Great Millstone and affiliate camps. All right, like Amawan Abad, for example, Amawan Gabar, and who else? Jacob Yasharala, the bishops. You click on it, you might see like say 444, right? And then you click on it, and it's gone to 438. And I'm thinking, but then you click on the channel and you go to that same specific vid, right? It's gone to 438, or the numbers keep jumping back and forth. And then I refresh the page and I jump into it again. It's still happening, It's like there's a fight or a struggle between good and evil because these damn devils, right, and the AI technology are adjusting the numbers. All right? But this truth is still spreading in its millions. They can adjust the numbers as much as they want, but people are viewing it who have to view it. Like the way I viewed it. An Israelite foreigner who grew up in the UK, right? Never been to every single part of the world, right? Where the prophets teach, But the message got out, all right, via the internet, which was prophesied as well. Okay? So these devils are trying to trip you up, man. Okay? They're trying to promote it like, oh, if you don't eat this, you're abnormal. Why aren't you eating it? What the hell? Is something wrong with you? You're a 5% now? You're a Muslim? Like this Jake said, When that's got nothing to do with it. Muslims eat. You got the fake JOOSs, the small hatters, the 1948ers. They have kosher pork. Because, they're not the people of the Lord. You got Tel Aviv in Israel today, which is Pink City, which is the biggest fagged out place in all, one of the major fagged out places in the world. And they're meant to be the people of the Lord when nothing even grows up there. Damn near Israel is like, well, Israel today is damn near like the bottomless pit of Europe. Nothing grows up there. They've got to import uh, damn near everything, especially all the vegetation. Let's go into the vid. Where are we at? All right, fair use. I'm not going to put the volume on. I'm just going to put subtitles on so you can read as you go along, right? You got the pork ribs there. That was meant to be 5% now. So they're basically calling him a sissy, basically calling him a faggot, man, for not eating pork. You know, even though he's doing it for health reasons. So that goes to show you in itself. If you're eating pork, it's unhealthy. So they're letting in between the lines. Okay, he's on a was it low fat, high fiber diet. All right, he's waiting for the chicken, which is skinless, which is fine, which is good to eat. But he don't want to eat the pork because he's trying to rejuvenate himself, trying to be healthy. So you already know that pork ain't right. And you got this clown, man. He was definitely a court jester, probably in every life. And all these so-called Jakes, man, they all know they're Israelites by blood. They know that, but they don't care, man. They don't care. He even says, Mike Epps even says in his stand-ups that when you turn to God, the God, so-called God, he calls the Most High God. God tests you. He pops your pockets, to see how much you love, how much you love the Most High. And then he says in a comedic fashion, "Oh, I'm not ready right now, God. I'm gonna, I got this, that, and the third to do. I'm gonna." And then he says, "I'm gonna deal with the devil for a few more years until I get my money right." He says it in a comedic fashion, but he ain't lying. You think he hasn't gone to them eyes wide shut parties? He's got a successful Netflix show. How many Netflix movies has he made? You think that just came because of his talent? All these Jakes are wicked, man. Look at this. You see this swine is fine, divine, sublime, and right on time. Look at that. Just munching into that shit. And Martin's acting is excellent. His mouth is watering. Like he's seeing some kind of banana cake or some kind of chocolate fudge cake in front of him. He just wants to dive right in. It's damn near an abomination, that is. It's like a crack fiend trying to get off crack. And you put crack cocaine in front of him, and his mouth is watering. Oh, I gotta get that. I want to smoke that. Oh, I want to, I want to toot a line. You know. And I believe this boatheaded Jake. I think he's left for the heavenly abode. He doesn't live on this earthly plane anymore. You know. Why are you Muslim now? Are you Muslim now? How he says it? Now, yeah. What the hell? Then he says five. It doesn't say 5%, but he says 5%. Are you Muslim or you're 5% for not eating pork? Then they call his woman the Black Paris Hilton. She's sissified you. For, off the pig. How do you say it? Sissy. Black Paris Hilton. Yeah, sissified you off that pig. Basically calling him a pussy for not eating pork. They're trying to big up the pork here. And this is the reason why we're in this condition. And a lot of you jakes, right? A lot of you jakes, especially that are sold out, you think that Esau needs you. You know, when all hell breaks loose, you think that you're going to have like a palace underneath the ground. They're going to use you to be entertainers and musicians and artists, whatever, you know, in the Esau, in the Edomites, the so called elites, Elysium, you know? You don't even realize that you come from royal. I mean, you do realize you come from royalty, but you have no faith, man. You can't even imagine a planet where we have a power, man. We have the power, and our power is Yahweh Shem Shai. You can't even and imagine a so-called brown skinned Messiah, man, with a woolly afro, and a brown skinned power, man. The Most High, but no Yahweh. You can't see past this world. You can't see past damn near past your driveway of your mansion. You know, your people are gone, man. You guys are the election. You're definitely the elector, right, for the of the 2/3. So pork is not meant to be, and this is the reason why we're in the predicament that we're in every day, man. This is the reason you think it's a small thing. Oh, it's just meat. It's just meat. It's just meat. No, all right. The pig is a dirty, filthy animal. The pig eats its own dead children, their own piglets. All right. The pig eats feces. Okay. The pig. A lot of gangsters use pigs because they can devour dead bodies in literally minutes, like piranhas. You throw a dead body in like a pond full of I don't know 1,000 piranhas, that fucking body's gonna be gone, demolished, probably within an hour, maybe within half an hour. A lot of gangsters have that. Like, so a pig is definitely an animal that's kept in farms, which is owned by a lot of gangsters, a lot of criminals, especially Esau, all right, where they can get rid of dead bodies. Why? Because the pig is going to eat anything you put in front of it, all right? They don't chew the cud, all right? They don't chew on their food and then spit it out and eat it again like the other animals do, like the cows do and all that, like you're supposed to do. These damn pigs swallow it whole, hence the term. Oh, he was eating like a pig. Oh, he swallowed that food down like a pig. That's where these terms come from, because a pig eats anything. Okay? Pig is a filthy animal, man. Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And this is just another another way that Esau, the so-called white man, right, especially the small hatters, the JOOSs, the 1948ers, the ones that wear those breakfast bowls on their those caps that they wear on their head, right? They uh, put all this evil in movies to make you think that you're corny if you don't eat pork. You're a pussy if you don't eat corny. I mean, sorry, you're a pussy if you don't eat pork. You're a sissy if you don't eat pork. You're not a man if you don't eat pork. Or you listen, you know, um, you're basically not living the so-called good life. You're not enjoying food when pork is not even food. You know, this is how they do that. They know the way they do put all that homo shit in movies and music these days, all the homo clothing, the nail polish the men are wearing, the purses, the merces. You know, that's putting that's putting also darkness for light and light for darkness. All the evil they're putting in the music and promoting it. Okay, can't you see what they're trying to do to you Israelites, man? What they're trying to do to our people? Can't you Jakes are so gone and so retarded, that you live in these hoods, right? You're in your own. You're in a world within a world, right? You don't step outside those specific boundaries, and if you do, you're still in your own bubble, you know. And listen, watching the World Star Hip Hop and Jake News, or what's happening with this Jake or that Jake, not even looking at the geopolitics and things like that, and not even analyzing the fact that how come these things that are happening to us don't happen to other nations? How come you go to an Edomite neighborhood and their neighborhoods are run by their own people? How come, you go to an East Indian neighborhood, all their shops and stores are ran by people that look like them? But when we go to our neighborhoods, right, the black or Hispanic neighborhoods, you got Habib there, you got Mr. Patel there, you got some cracker Amalekite ish person, Mr. Finkelstein or Silverstein or Rosenstein, owning the building, you know? Haven't you ever thought that? Haven't you ever thought that why Israelite women, so called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, diss their men and go with other nations more? You know? When that doesn't really happen as a whole. It does happen in other nations, but it doesn't happen as a whole. You know? Don't you ever analyze that? You Israelites love everybody else except your own, and you just make wickedness normal, like it's okay, and you follow through with it. Why? Because it's always given to you. You think everything's a joke. Like Mike Epps thinks everything's a joke. When hell breaks loose, all these Mike Epps out there, people like him. You're gonna get yours, man. All right, you're gonna get yours. All you assholes out there that done this shit. Deuteronomy 20:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken, listen. Okay, which hearken means listen unto the voice of the Lord, thy power, of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right? You had the slavery, you had the chattel slave trade. Okay? All right? You have yokes of iron around your neck. You try and, you had your own so-called black cities. The Northern Kingdom Native Americans had beautiful towns and clean towns with plumbing and proper bathrooms and toilets to use. They were clean, wholesome towns, man. There were lots of greenery. It was lush. It was beautiful. Everything was there. But the Lord said, this isn't our rest. Why? Because we are in punishment. We are in spiritual prison right now. And some of us are in literal prison. You see Jake locked up, Okay, that's why everything you try and put your hand to, all right, it always collapses. Especially those that are trying to do, especially those that the Lord Yahweh has chosen not to be part of this world. The Lord's going to give you enough. The Lord's going to give you nice things. Don't get it twisted. But the Lord's going to give you enough to keep you afloat. Sometimes, He gives you a little bit more. But for the most part, the Lord's not going to make you into, especially if you're part of the elect, all right, hopeful elect, the Lord's not going to make you into a multi-millionaire, where you have, 40, 50 wives, living on one huge mansion and 150, 200 vehicles, The Lord ain't going to give you that. The Lord's only going to give that to the 2/3, because this is their time to shine, the 2/3. The 1/3, the elect, are going to get those blessings in the kingdom when that's set up on planet Earth. Okay? This is the reason why we are in the condition that we are in, man. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not listen unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And that happened, and it's still happening to this day. Only being cursed again. You're being thrown out of your neighborhood. You're being gentrified now as well. You can't even find a place that you can afford to live. You don't even have your so-called ghetto fabulous neighborhood no more. Jake having that the pimp ride outside in the projects or outside his neighborhood, for example, in Compton, LA or whatever, and Compton, for example, and it's a ghetto fabulous clean neighborhood, but it's nothing but Jake, but drug dealing and things like that still go on. You got the so-called finer things in life, but you live in the hood. You don't even have that no more. You got Lucy and Philip, jogging down the road, showing their yellow dingy teeth, smiling and saying, "Good morning, neighbor." You know. All right, I'm going to get a couple of go to a couple of scriptures regarding the pig. You know, and a lot of you Jakes, you in these so-called churches trying to be holier than thou. Some of you bitches are on your rag. Some of you women are cheating on your husband. Some of you, people who cook all sorts of abomination underneath the church. And if you go into a damn church, it feels demonic as fuck anyway when you're in there. All right. And some of you, and a lot of you men are faggots. You in these churches, you know, and then you cook these abominations, pork and all that. You think the Lord hears you? Huh? The Lord does not hear you, man. John 9:31. Now we know that the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshipper of the Most High and doeth his will, him he heareth. So the Lord doesn't hear you, man. The Lord doesn't hear you sinners because a lot of you Jakes, right? Especially, that you're Israelites. You know you're Israelites, but you still eat the pork. Say, no, you know what? I'm still gonna eat the pork. I like it. It tastes good. I like bacon. There's so many other things you can have. You can have beef bacon. You can have turkey bacon. I myself like turkey bacon. You know, you can have that. You know, there's so many other meats you can have that are lawful. What's wrong with lamb? Lamb is delicious. Beef is delicious. Chicken without the skin is delicious. You know, turkey is delicious. Venison is delicious. But you MFers want to go for the pork, man. You want to go for the damn near what else do they eat? Squirrels and uh, especially Jake's down south, man. That hunt and all that. Eat crocodiles and alligators too. You think the Most High is going to hear you when you pray over that? The Lord said that He doesn't want to smell your solemn assemblies, man. He's not going to bless your cursed feast days. I believe that's in the book of Jeremiah. Paraphrasing the scripture there. The Lord doesn't, bless those your feast days, your Christmases, your birthdays, your abominable days in the church when you're cooking, heathenistic things. All right. John 9:31 again. Now we know that the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yashai, heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yashai, and doeth his will, him he heareth. And that's also like stop eating abominable food, stop smoking cigarettes, stop smoking weed, stop taking drugs, And if you got off dealing with another man's woman, you better stop doing that too. All right. And the fact that the Lord hasn't deleted you yet and brought you into this truth, and you got the name, is a sign that the Lord will more than likely have mercy on you. There's other things also, but these are the core principles, man. You know. Deuteronomy 14:8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud. Okay, which basically means they chew the food and they spit it out and they chew it. They chew it again. Like you see a cow eat grass. And they chew it again and they digest the food properly. You know what I mean? Whatever they eat. And pigs, like as mentioned earlier, they eat anything and everything. You're not gonna see gangsters use a whole bunch of cows to get rid of dead bodies, man. Cows ain't gonna even go near it. But a lot of gangsters and criminals, especially these Edomites, these Caucasians, will use pigs, man. Because pigs, hence that term. You're eating like a pig because you're swallowing food whole down. And pigs with their jaw and their teeth and the way they're built, and the fact that their skin doesn't even sweat, because a snake or a cobra can bite a damn pig and the pig ain't gonna die. And you MFers want to put this inside you want to eat this, huh? You Muslim jakes want to eat camel meat and all sorts of abomination like prawns and crab and lobster, thinking that's okay. That's an abomination too. But you know, and so is the pig. And all you jakes out there better get out that demonic Muslim shit, man. That shit is demonic as fuck. Islam is basically Satanism just cloaked, you know, with that breakfast bowl hat and an orange beard with no moustache. That's Satanism, man. Deuteronomy 14 and 8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. You're not supposed to even touch the damn thing. But you, Jakes, are saying, oh, this swine is fine, divine, and right on time, and sucking and slurping that flesh down your throat, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy 14, a little bit more detail, so you know what time it is. Deuteronomy 14, verse 5. You know, this from 14 all the way to 11. I mean, sorry, Deuteronomy 14, verse 5 to 11. It's beautiful. The hart and the roebuck and the fallow deer and the wild goat and the pygarg and the wild ox and the chamois and every beast that parteth the hoof, right, and cleaveth the cleft into two claws, and cheweth the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Okay, you're supposed to eat them. All right. Verse 7. Nevertheless, these shall not eat of them that chew the cud or of them that divide the cloven hoof. Okay, so these other animals that are unclean also, right? Whether they have a cloven hoof, and some of these unclean animals chew the cud, but the swine doesn't. All right, and they've given the Lord gave an example. Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as the camel. Okay, which you Muslim jakes like to eat, and you Ishmaelite Arabs are heathens anyway. As a camel, and the hare, which is like a rabbit, and the coney, for they chew the cud, but divideth divide not the hoof. Therefore, they are unclean unto you. All right. So you jakes that eat rabbit and hare and all that, and try new, so-called new things. Okay, all so-called new things aren't good for you. All right, you're not supposed to eat that shit. Verse 8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, and yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. Verse 9. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales shall ye eat. And whatsoever hath not fins and scales ye shall not eat. It is unclean unto you. Of all clean birds ye shall eat. All right. Then it's going to go into all the kind of birds that you can eat. You know, the birds that you can't eat. All right. In as you go down Deuteronomy. All right. Actually, let's go there. Okay, and yeah, but these are they which ye shall not eat: the eagle and the osprey, and the osprey. You're not supposed to eat this. All right. Okay. I'm gonna put it in layman's terms. Okay. You can eat chicken, of course, turkey, lamb, beef. All right. Me personally, if I've never heard of it, and I don't want to dive too much into it. All right. If I'm not sure of it, I'm not gonna eat it. You know what I mean? I stick with fish wise, tuna or cod. Right. Chicken, lamb, beef, turkey, venison. All right. And I'll leave it there. Okay. I'm not going to eat. I mean, for example, uh, there's other meats out there that are lawful, such as certain birds, you know. Oh, yeah, sorry, no, certain fish, but I never ate them as coming up. So I may not try it, But obviously, I'm going to study on that a little bit more to make sure that everything's up to code, scriptorially. That's a term, you know. In the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Ashai, then I look into it. But You know, if I don't know it and I'm not sure of it, I'm not going to eat it. You know what I mean? That's just me. All right. And like I was going into, that the Lord doesn't hear sinners, right? But then, and a lot of you sinners don't even know the name. You know, a lot of you Jakes, you two-third Jakes, don't even know the name. So the Lord, basically hates you. Hence the reason why the Lord hasn't given you His name. You are still calling that Jesus shit and the Most High Christ. Most High is okay because that's a title, right? But you say that Christ shit, you know, Jesus the Christ. You know, you're basically just Israelites with fringes, but you're still in the have that same Christian doctrine. So how have you grown? You know, the name is very, very, very important, man. The name is a passcode. The name is the key, right? You got a key, don't you? You got a code, right, to get into your bank account, to use a cash point or cash point. That would be an ATM in the UK. Sorry, in the States, right? You got a number for that. You can't just punch in anything, right? Like 3456 when it's already 12345, right? For example, or how many codes it is, or how many numbers it is. All right, you can't use 4567 when it's 1234. For your bank account. So how do you think you're going to speak to the Most High? You've got a friend named Peter, and you call him, "Oi, Tommy." All right, "Oi, Tommy, come here, mate." You think he's going to hear you? He might hear a voice in the background saying, "Who's that? Who's that?" Oh, you know, I know him, but why is he saying that name to me? You know, the person ain't going to listen because you're calling on the wrong name. So why would you think that the Lord Yahweh Shem Mashah will hear you, man, when you don't even have the name? Yeah, there's sincere Jakes out there the Lord has chosen, and they still call on the heathenistic name, but the Lord will wake them up in time, you know? Because the one-third of the elect, man, are a huge number, man. Those are billions of Israelites, by the way. All right? John 12 and 28. Father, glorify thy name. Then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. Okay? The Lord's going to glorify it amazingly this time round when that time comes, man. You know? As the scriptures say, and I think it's in Proverbs, where what's his son's name? Actually, let me go there. What's his son's name? I think it's in Proverbs. If thou canst tell. Yeah, it's in Proverbs 30 and 4. That's it. Proverbs 30 and 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fists? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? All right. Now that's the Lord is asking. Do you know the Lord? Do you know my name? Do you know my son's name? It ain't no God and Jesus. All right. Those of you that call on the name. All right. So a lot of you that are two-thirds that that willingly know. I mean that have certain family members that don't eat pork, because Jake has always been into the sort of spiritual and political and so-called black power movements where they know to a certain degree, for the most part, especially my generation that were born in the 70s and early 80s, know um, that eating pork and doing certain things are wrong. Like being a faggot is wrong, it's disgusting. Eating pork is wrong. Eating shrimp, crab, lobster, and all that is wrong. Smoking cigarettes is wrong. And a lot of you Jakes know that, but still willingly do it. And some of you Jakes know the name, but don't have faith in it because you've been indoctrinated. And then on top of that, you can still go to these churches to get yourself a feel good doctrine and still pray over your pork, saying God and Jesus. The Most High doesn't hear sinners, man. All right, does not hear sinners. All right. A lot of you Jakes are basically like this. You're a caricature of an Israelite. A lot of you Jakes out there. When I say Jake, I'm talking about Jacob. I'm talking about the black, Hispanic, native Indian, right? As well as you Israelite foreigners. You're a caricature of what our forefathers were, man. All right? Caricature. Like this clown Mike Epps. Like this clown. You know? Hence the reason they go through what they go through. You know? This geezer running around with his drawers on and with a strap saying they're trying to kill me. Then you got this clown, you know? Always coked up all the time and high, you know? Never sober, knowing what he's doing, you know? I'm making a comedy joke about him, that he's going to worship the devil for a little bit longer because he wants to make his money. He doesn't want to worship the Most High because the Most High tests you too much. That's what he said. All right, especially those of you that watch his stand-ups. And this Jake, I believe he's passed away. You know, so you Jakes are a sad case. You know, and this place can't get destroyed soon enough. Because I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of seeing this, and I'm nobody in this, man. And how much more our elders and prophets, man, of Great Millstone that have been in the front lines, man. You know who we learn from. And they must, man. That goes to show the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, man. That the Lord is energizing our apostles and bishops and the rest of the prophets, man, of Great Millstone and affiliate camps to teach us, man. Because, whew, this world, man, will unalive you, man. Spiritually, physically, and mentally. Anyway, just wanted to touch on this. And a lot of you Jakes out there, man, analyze these movies, how they try and push, faggotry and eating abominations and all that kind of stuff. You got that dumbass Andrew Tate in one of his. He's definitely paid opposition anyway. All right, he's definitely part of it. He was saying that, what would you deal with? Who was that chick from that Transformer movie, man? That sultry looking one. The one who is, I forgot her name, man. He was saying that basically in layman's, well, I'll say in a different way. He was basically saying that, would you deal with a fine looking tranny, right, with a D, or would you deal with a natural woman that looks like Hulk Hogan? He said he'll deal with the T person that's got a D because it looks like a so-called an attractive woman. So he's basically trying to sway you Jakes into being homos as well. That's what they do, man. That's what somebody sellout Jakes do. They're covering, basically, they're giving you think it's a chocolate cake with icing on it and everything, and bits of hard chocolate candy and caramel, but underneath, when you cut into that cake, is a fucking pile of hot steaming shit. That's what they're trying to give you. Man, this world can't, this Second Ezra 6 verse 9, Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth. And it can't come soon enough. Anyway, all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Bashem Rakak Badash, Wathabad Babal, Kwam Yashra Shalom.